Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Functional Friday. My name is Dr. Kirk Mason here at Premier Chiropractic in Minot, North Dakota, improving movement, function, and health. Today we're going to dive into a little bit about how our body functions based on our diet. And the diet that I recommend to almost all of my patients is what's called the Deflame diet or the Anti-Inflammatory diet, which is depicted up here in blue. Now, our diet mainly consists of what's called a pro-inflammatory diet. These foods here produce low-grade chronic inflammation in our bodies that leads to pain, and it eventually leads to the expression of disease in our bodies. Okay? There's a lot of diseases that are actually linked to this low-grade chronic inflammation, and I'll be talking about those diseases in a later video. But for today, we're going to go into the types of foods to eat and the types of foods to avoid. To start with, avoid. First is refined sugars. Sugar was actually thought of a health food at one time. Now we know that excess intake of sugar can result in disease, okay? And it results in that low-grade chronic inflammation that we just talked about. Same with refined grains. We thought grains were really healthy for a while. Grains actually produce inflammation in our body. Grain and flour products, same things. Trans fats, okay? Trans fats are different than the fats that we find in things like meats. We thought saturated fats, which are found in meats, were actually really bad for us for a long time, but we're starting to find out that it's not so much saturated fat that's been the problem as it's been all these things, in particular sugar. Okay? So trans fats is something that we do need to avoid, though. Trans fats do produce chronic low-grade inflammation, and they can lead to a whole host of health problems. Okay? Another thing is refined omega-6 seed oils, or what are commonly termed vegetable oils. Okay? This is not including these kinds of oils: olive oil, coconut oil, butter, ghee. Those things are actually anti-inflammatory, but the refined omega-6 seed oils, including corn, safflower, sunflower, and peanut, can actually produce inflammation in our body. So those are the ones that we kind of want to avoid. The problem is they tend to dominate our calorie intake, and that's something that we want to change. Okay? On the right side here is look at all that good stuff that we can eat. Okay? Those are foods that reduce inflammation in our body. They fall under the Deflame diet. Okay? As we look at a few of the key ones here, you can eat meats. It's okay to eat meat. Obviously organic meat is better, things like that. But just eating meat in general is generally anti-inflammatory. Fish, anti-inflammatory. Chicken, anti-inflammatory. Eggs, very good food for you. Eggs have a lot of a dense profile of different kinds of fats. Eggs are a good option for breakfast or any meal of the day. Okay? Cheese, one thing that we thought, it has a lot of fat, so it must be terrible for you. Cheese is actually anti-inflammatory. Obviously, vegetables, salads, fruits, all those things are anti-inflammatory. We want to eat a bunch of those, okay? Tubers and roots, including potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes, things of that nature, are actually anti-inflammatory, and they're okay to eat. Now, there's different ways to cook those that make them kind of lower on the glycemic index, which is just your body's reaction to sugar and how much it spikes the blood sugar. So there's different ways to cook them that have different effects on the body. So that's one thing that we'll talk about in a later video as well. Nuts, good to eat. Omega-3 seeds like hemp, chia, and flax, awesome. Those oils are awesome too. You can eat dark chocolate. So for all those chocolate lovers out there, dark chocolate is actually anti-inflammatory. Next, spices of all kinds are awesome. And then olive oil, coconut oil, butter, cream, avocado, and even bacon is anti-inflammatory. Very high fat profile, but it's not this fat. It's not trans fats. It's fats that reduce inflammation in our body. Then you can actually have some alcohol intake, some red wine, some stout beer, recommended 1 glass a day, maybe up to 2, but that would be about it. Anything in excess of that tends to be not great for our body. So red wine and stout beer, so sit down and have a glass of wine or something at night. And then coffee and tea. Again, tea is probably the better option. Green tea is your best option, but coffee, if you can make sure you're drinking it before 1 o'clock. Don't drink it after that because it can disrupt your sleep patterns and things like that with the caffeine. But coffee is actually anti-inflammatory. Okay, so this kind of gives you a rundown of some foods that you can be eating, because sometimes people think, oh my gosh, I can't eat anything if I'm not eating this. You can eat all of these things and still enjoy food and be able to go to restaurants and do all those things. Okay? So that's all I have for you today. Again, this information comes from the D-Flame book by Dr. David Seaman. Highly recommended for anyone interested in that. If you don't already like our Facebook page, Premier Chiropractic here in Minot, North Dakota, go ahead and check it out. We have some videos, some articles, things of that nature. Along with that, check out our website, premierchiropracticnd.com. If you have a problem, make sure to give us a call, get into the clinic, and get it taken care of now before it becomes a bigger problem later on. 701-838-0090. Give us a call, we'll get you in. Okay? And everyone have a great day.